So what we're going to be doing today is reviewing some functions with trig in them, including our rational functions. So let's take a look at the first four. This is just FOILing or distributing. So in number one, remember, you just multiply your first terms together. So x times 2x is going to give you a 2x squared. Remember, an x times an x, you add those exponents together. Then you multiply your outer terms. So x times -1 is a negative x. The inner terms, the ones that are closest together, 1 times 2x is a 2x. And then finally your last terms, 1 times -1 is a -1. And remember, you can combine like terms. That would give you a 2x squared minus a 1x plus 2x is a plus 1x. You don't have to write the 1. And then a -1. So that's how you can multiply two binomials together. Sometimes the variable won't always be an x. It could be a different variable. So if you look at number 2, you're still going to multiply your first terms together. A squared times a is an a to the third. Your outer terms, -5 times a squared is a -5a squared. Inner term, 1 times a is a positive a. And then 1 times -5 is a -5. Notice none of the powers of the variables are the same, so there's no like terms to combine, so that's your final answer. So when you look at number 3 and 4, you're dealing with expressions that have trig functions in them, but you treat the sine or cosine, etc., just like an x. So when you multiply a sine times a sine, that's going to give you a sine squared theta. Sine theta times -1 is a negative sine theta, or -1 times sine theta. 4 times sine theta is a positive 4 sine theta. And then 4 times -1 is a -4. Remember, what makes a like term is when you have the same base raised to the same power. Both of these terms have a sine theta to the first power. So just like you add and subtract x's, you can add and subtract sines. So I have a sine squared theta, -1 plus 4 is a plus 3 sine theta, -4. So in number 4, 2 tan theta times 3 tan theta. Remember, you multiply the coefficients as well as the variable together. So 2 times 3 is going to give you a 6. Tangent squared theta. The outer terms, 2 tan theta times 2 is a positive 4 tan theta. Inner term, -5 times 3 tan theta is a -15 tan theta. And then your last term is going to be a -5 times 2, which is a -10. So again, I've got two terms with a tangent to the first theta, so I can combine like terms by just adding or subtracting the coefficients. 4 minus 15 is a -11, tangent theta -10. So that's how you can use your foiling and distributive property using your trig functions.